This morning, we are joined by Kirsty du Toit. She's a leader, in my opinion, in helping to transform how we do client engagement and how we engage with our clients, and specifically, obviously, helping financial planners do that. So looking forward to a fantastic episode this morning. We're going to talk about a whole host of things, amongst which might be, how shifting your focus from traditional financial planning to advice engagement can really make all the difference in your relationship. So there's nothing more important for any of us to build good long-term relationships that's built on trust and that fosters loyalty and all of that good stuff. And today in this discussion with Kirsty, we're going to unpack how you can really take it to another level. So looking forward to a great show, but let's get started in the right way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another brilliant show this morning. Looking forward to a good one. When I opened the curtains this morning, I'm looking like, oh my word, how beautiful is it? Like it was like a golden sun this morning coming over the Helderberg Mountains. And I'm just like, do I really have to get up? Why can't I just stay here, look at this? And then I remembered, hey, it's the show. Then I get up always. So good morning, warm welcome. Thank you very much for being here. Say hi in the chat, chat to each other, say hi to each other, say hi to us here in the studio. And we would really like to hear from you today. Today is a really exciting discussion. And I did neglect in the opening to say that Kirsty is from Asset Map. I did realize that as the intro started playing. But you may know Kirsty very well. She is one of the faces for Asset Map here in South Africa. But also, she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and understanding about the little things that we can do, which we sometimes think are the little things, but they turn out to be big things that make a big difference in how much your client gets engaged in the planning of their life and their finances and all of that good stuff. So yeah, looking forward to a great discussion with her. Then we have Lelani back for a change. So poor Nikki has been doing this because there's so much been going on in the world of the financial planning profession and at the FBI and all stuff. So Lelani was really busy as well. Nikki is busy. Everybody's busy. I'm busy. But today Lelani is back. So looking forward to have her back. Kim, unfortunately, can't be here today, so we won't have a segment for that. But Kobus is here on his post, and looking forward to hear a little bit more from Kobus this morning. He's going to talk about navigating the two-pot system. So looking forward to hear what Kobus has got to share in that regard. And then I've got a few announcements, and I am going to talk to Kirsty. And we're going to give away some books, so do stick around. I'll give the hashtag in a moment. Or after the current affairs session. So things are going to go a bit quick this morning because we don't have Kim here. But on that note, let me say a warm good morning to all of you. And I suspect there's going to be... So I was given a video that I must play, which I have no idea what it's about. But if I get told do this, but don't watch it and do X, Y, and Z, I suspect there's going to be crying. So I'll play it at the right time when I have time to go and recompose myself, because I can already think what's happening now. Anyway, so let me say a warm good morning. So here's Nico van Wyk. Good morning, Nico. Thanks for being in the house first and saying hi early this morning already. We've got David Kopp. Good morning. Nice to see you as well. Yeah, absolutely great show. We've got Jaco Rutz. Goeiemorgen, Jaco. I hope you are flying the flag there in the dorp of Kruger. Then Terence, good morning. Hello from the N3 back to Joburg. Fantastic, man. Good morning. Harry Nell, good morning. Nice to see you as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Neil Phillips, good morning. I hope you are doing well. Lihana, good morning. Nice to see you. Willem Bester, goeiemorgen. Welcome. Nice to see you as well. This is my wife now popping in here with tissues. Can you believe that now? Where are we? So Willem Bester, goeiemorgen. We've got Julian, good morning. We have Johan Blumeres here. Johan, good morning. Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. Andre Joubert, goeiemorgen. Good morning. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Jan van Huisteen, goeiemorgen. Welcome to the show. Yotika, good morning. Thank you very much. Some amazing birthday memes thingies that you sent me. Thank you so much. Mary, good morning. Nice to see you as well. And That's it. Righty. So, ladies and gents, let's kick off the show. Let me just find where I need to go. Who popped in there to say hi? I missed that. Dewald Spies. Goeiemorgen, Dewald. Let me just pop you in there. Good morning. Righty. So, ladies and gents, here's the unbeknownst thing. And then directly after that, we'll cut to Lelani for the latest news. Thank you very much.
Sorry for interrupting your show. If you don't know, my name is Lene and I work mostly behind the scenes. So I had to get out of the cracks for this one. My dad had his birthday, or as you would know him, Francois, had his birthday yesterday. And I thought it good to maybe ask a few of his friends, colleagues, and some of the members in PROpulsion to share a little message with him. And I hope he knows and sees. I already had to get a tissue out for this, but in any case, let's see if I can do this. I hope that he sees how appreciated he is and how loved he is, and that we are so, so proud of him. And yeah, so here you go.
For he's a jolly good fellow. Okay, I won't sing anymore. Happy, happy birthday, Francois. I hope you have an amazing year ahead. Know that you're a blessing to everyone that you work with. I'm grateful to have you in my business life, my personal life, and I'm wishing you amazing success, good health, lots of memories, and delicious cappuccinos.
Hi Francois, happy birthday. We've really enjoyed being part of the PROpulsion events this year. So from all of us at S5E25, we hope you have the most amazing day and year ahead. Best.
Happy birthday, Francois. I want to take a moment to celebrate not just you, but the incredible impact you have made in our profession over the past 4 years with PROpulsion. Your passion, dedication, and tireless work have consistently raised the bar in our profession and created a platform that's empowering advisors across the board. The value you've added and the difference you've made are truly remarkable. As you look ahead, I'm confident that your journey is far from over. The best is yet to come, and I cannot wait to see what you'll continue to bring to our profession in the years ahead. Years to more growth, inspiration, and success. Enjoy your special day, my good friends.
Hey, 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 happy birthday Francois. Mag jy absolutely awesome dag hê. En baie dankie vir alles wat jy vir die professie doen en ook vir die Financial Planning Institute. Ons waardeer jou geweldiglik en mag jy 'n werklik ware geseënde verjaarsdag hê. Blessings, boy.
Hey Francois, just a very, very happy birthday from Benny and Kirsty at Asset Map. Really hope you had a wonderful day and a year ahead. And thank you so much for everything that you do for the industry. Cheers.
Hi Francois, happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I think I can speak on behalf of the entire financial planning community when I say thanks for everything that you do. You are tremendous value add to our profession and to our practice and to myself as a colleague and a friend. I really appreciate the wisdom that you have shared over the years, and I hope to carry on working with you and knowing you for a very long time. I hope you have a fantastic day. Cheers.
Hi Francois, you know that I'm much more of a writing person than I am a video person. So putting myself out here on video on your behalf is a real stretch, and I hope that you'll receive it as the gift I believe it to be. It's my opportunity to say that I wish you an absolutely fabulous birthday, and I know that no matter what that actual number says, that what really counts is the fact that you have such a youthful spirit and that you are choosing to carry on growing from strength to strength as the years tick over. And I just bless you to continue walking with that incredible youthful spirit that you have and to continue raising the bar.
Sjoe, Francois, Stoute Janne, he's not on camera because I know he's bawling his eyes out. So did I. So all tissues aside, let me try and focus. Yes, Franca, from my side, I really hope you had a fantastic birthday. And as you know, we all love you tremendously and thank you for the good work that you continue to do for the industry, but definitely the profession. All right, with that, let me swallow the tears and carry on. So I'm going to kick off with some news on a global level. So I'll try to always bring something from a global level in if there is something interesting. So two things that I saw this week from a FINRA point of view. Now, FINRA is a non-governmental self-regulatory organization that enforces various rules governing brokers and broker-dealer firms in the US. So we saw with Brian Parsley at our convention, they still do talk a lot about brokers, but it does mean and it does include the financial advisors as well. But the message was that FINRA highlighted that it's increasingly critical that financial advisors become more engaging online through social media to interact and attract the younger generation of investors. But doing so means balancing the ability to be engaging without tripping over regulatory requirements. So marketing experts, advisors, and regulators offered some pointers on what to do and what not to do. So there's 6 high-level pointers that were shared, and this is very relevant to South Africa as well, because we've got a lot of financial advisors and financial planners using social media platforms. So yes, here's 6 high-level tips. First one, know your audience. Choose the right social media platforms based on where your targeted clients are mostly active. LinkedIn is a good starting point for direct connections. And then obviously IG or Instagram is the platform for young people. TikTok is not bad, but be careful with TikTok, especially with your messaging. Then disclose everything. Always be transparent about whether the content is paid advertisement or a product promotion. Clearly indicate this in your posts. So disclose everything. Then run it through with compliance. Ensure that all social media posts are reviewed and approved by compliance before going live to avoid any regulatory issues. Now, that's a very good tip. Then also archive your posts. Make sure that you keep a record of all your social media posts, what was reviewed and what was approved by compliance, and keep a record of that. Then use balanced content. Focus on providing general financial advice rather than publishing specifically or pushing specifically financial products to ensure that the content is actually factual and transparent. And then handle hashtags carefully. You know, there's so many hashtag this, hashtag that. Use the hashtag like hashtag promoted or hashtag sponsored to amplify the disclosures, but avoid using them if they might create regulatory concerns. So social media is fantastic to interact with younger people, but make sure that you take due care and precaution when you're using these platforms. And something else from FINRA is where they said that financial advisors now no longer have to disclose their home addresses like they had to do in COVID. And that's just for their protection. Now, this is in the US, so they no longer have to disclose their home addresses if they are having offices from home. And that's just for security purposes and for their own protection. Then coming back to the wonderful country of South Africa, and yes, you've got sunshine in Cape Town this morning, Fransha, because we've got a cloudy day here in Gauteng, hopefully with a chance of rain. You can actually smell it in the air. Money Smart Week is actually kicking off the 26th of August, which is Monday, and that is an initiative between National Treasury, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, as well as the National Consumer Financial Education Committee, in short NCFEC. And this is kicked off in 2018, and FPI has been part of Money Smart Week since its inception. So FPI will be part of the group that will participate in this. When they kicked off, there was about 48 stakeholders that participated. Last year, there was 78, and I'm sure this year it's even higher. So FPI will be rolling out some sessions for consumers, and we will focus, no surprise, on the two-pot. You will see today that we are starting with a countdown with day 10 all the way to day 1, and day 1 being the 1st of September. And this is just where we create awareness with the consumer out there, what two-pot is, what it is about, and that you definitely, before you make any decisions with regards to the two-pot system, have to look for professional financial advice from a financial advisor. You have to be licensed, and we're also saying to the consumer, you know what, here's a link, click to the FPI's My Money 123 to find a financial professional should you not have a financial advisor. Then staying with the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, they issued a Communication 27 of 2024, which, no surprise, is also about the two-part system, but this is two-part system considerations for defined benefit funds. So this is where the FSCA is saying, you know, they outline best practices for applying the system to defined benefit members to ensure that consistency is across all the funds. The FSA also highlights the need for the funds to seek approval from the Financial Sector Conduct Authority if they wish to use alternative methods for allocating the contributions. The guideline includes specific principles for calculating the impact of withdrawals from savings component on member pensionable service. Additionally, it provides scenarios for how the two-part system should be applied, especially when defined benefit structures includes defined contribution elements. Funds that are unable to allocate contributions as prescribed must apply to the Financial Sector Conduct Authority for approval to use any alternative methodology. Applications should be directed to the FSCA with a clear motivation for the alternative approach. Then there was a public warning that came out on the 20th of August from the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, and this time they issued a warning to the public regarding Blue Way Trades. It's a company suspected of offering financial services without proper authorization, and the FSCA advises caution when dealing with Blue Way Trades, which has been using social media platforms like WhatsApp, TikTok, and Instagram to promote investments in stocks, commodities, forex, alongside a trading robot that promotes unrealistic returns. It's always unrealistic returns. And despite attempts to clarify its operation from the FSCA directly with Blue Way Trades abruptly cuts off communication when the FSCA inquiry was linked to a complaint. So the FSCA urges the public to avoid engaging with unregistered and unlicensed financial services providers. Then this links very nicely into the article that was published by MoneyWeb, where there was a webinar with Leanne Jackson, the CEO of the Ombud Council. She clarified that a lot of people are referring to her as the Chief Ombud, whereas she's actually the CEO of the Ombud Council. So that is her correct title. And we had Advocate John Simpson online, where they went through the new Ombud councils for the financial services providers ombudsman, which is obviously the phase ombud. And during that webinar, the Advocate John made a comment to say that you cannot absolutely trust your advisor. And I think a lot of the advisors got upset, but if you listen to the full webinar, you would understand the context that he had placed it in. And you have trust and absolute trust. And what it means and what he said is you cannot absolutely trust your financial advisor. You have to make sure that your advisor is licensed with the Financial Sector Conduct Authority and that the products that they're using is actually registered financial products. So that is what he meant. And like I said, we can't speak for the Ombudsman's office, but listen to the full recording to actually see his comments in context. So MoneyWeb did quote the Ombud correctly, so they did not quote him incorrectly, but we have to listen to the full recording to get the full context of what he had meant. Also, the FPI released a press release, and we will make sure that we use the content of that press release during Global Money Week next week to create awareness with the consumer that absolutely trust your financial advisor, but always make sure that the person that you are working with is properly and duly registered in terms of regulations in South Africa. So Moonstone also published a great article yesterday where they quote and refer to both press releases from the Ombudsman Office, but also from the Financial Planning Institute. So thank you for the passion from everybody that was a bit concerned about the comments that was made, but I do urge you to listen to the full recording to understand the comment in context. Then in closing, we had a fantastic Women in Finance Network session in Cape Town, 20 August, but also yesterday at Old Mutual, the 22nd of August. It was a full day event, and we've learned so much, and it was wonderful just to sit in the audience and just pour into your own cup and to listen to some of the speakers. And one of the speakers that was there was Verity Price. She actually won the 2021 World Championship of Public Speaking. So here she is, and there's a wonderful book that I got from her yesterday, signed by her, where she also says, "Dear Lelani, let your voice become your power." So it was fantastic to listen to her about how to present with power and your gift that you always leave for your audience. So it was fantastic. Just well done to Kim Potgieter, Shazzy, Tiffany, everybody at the Women in Finance Network. It was a magnificent event and a beautiful opportunity to network with over, I would guess there was about 300 ladies in the auditorium at Old Mutual. With that, Francois, happy belated birthday, and I hope you're going to continue the celebrations this weekend on your side of the world. Blessings, everybody online. Look after yourselves. Bye.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Lelani. Super stuff. Thank you very much for all the messages. Really means a lot to me. Righty, so next up we have Kobus. Kobus has been waiting anxiously to get on with his advisor's path this morning, talking about navigating the two-pot system. And let's not keep Kobus or you waiting.
Thank you, Francois. Lelani, firstly, I love your FBI jacket. It looks fantastic. Today, I wanted to address one of the most significant shifts in our profession, which starts on 1 September, namely the two-pot system, or amended to the free component system. As many of you know, this new structure fundamentally changes how we engage with our clients' retirement savings. It's no longer just about a vested pot that remains mostly untouchable until retirement if they do not change jobs or similar. We now have the introduction of a savings and retirement pot. But I want to focus on the savings pot, and particularly the annual withdrawal options, including the first year access to seed capital. From 1 September, 1/3 of your clients' contributions will be allocated to the savings pot. What is crucial here is that in the first year, clients will be allowed a once-off withdrawal from the seed capital, as well as on 1/3 contributions until 28 February 2025. Clients will be able to withdraw up to 10% of their retirement savings as seed capital from day one. The withdrawal is subject to a minimum amount of 2,000 Rand and a maximum of 30,000 Rand, or 10% of seed capital taxed at their marginal tax rate. This means that whatever amount is withdrawn will be added to their taxable income and taxed at their marginal tax rate, which could significantly reduce the benefits they receive. The savings pot withdrawals are designed as a safety net. But for many clients, the temptation to access these funds, even for non-urgent reasons, will be significant. Our role is to help clients balance immediate needs with their future financial security. Let me share my approach. It starts with financial education. The first conversation should be around the purpose of both the 1/3 contributions into the savings pot and the seed capital withdrawal options. We need to emphasize that while withdrawals are allowed, they come with trade-offs, like losing out on potential tax-free growth while paying tax and risking their financial stability in retirement. I'll be setting clear written guidelines for them when withdrawals is truly necessary. It's important to involve clients in defining these criteria, ensuring that they commit to only using the funds for genuine emergencies or unavoidable expenses, like medical need or financial emergencies. Having the structured plan helps clients resist the urge to dip into their savings for convenience only. And what about the first year seed capital temptation? The once-off seed capital withdrawal from next week is a consideration optional. It's our job to ensure clients view this as a strategic option rather than an easy cash-out option. Remind them that the withdrawal will be taxed at their marginal tax rate, reducing the effective amount they receive while depreciating their long-term wealth. I advise framing this withdrawal as a potential cushion for absolute emergencies rather than a windfall. Demonstrate how using this option prematurely could result in missed opportunities for growth and hinder their overall financial objectives. And then there is the annual withdrawal trap. Clients can withdraw from the savings pot once a year, but that doesn't mean they should. I will encourage clients to treat this withdrawal option as a last resort, not an annual entitlement. Run the numbers. Show them how even a small withdrawal, combined with the tax impact, can erode their quality of post-retirement life. This will create the necessary pause before they act. It is important to appreciate that clients' financial needs evolve, and so should our advice. Ensure that regular meetings are scheduled to revisit both their financial plan and their approach to the savings pot. As advisors, this is an opportunity to adjust strategies and, if needed, refocus their mindset on long-term goals. While at it, there's an opportunity for us as trusted advisors. Positioning the savings pot situation and seed capital withdrawal offers opportunities for us to have more touch points and showcasing our advice value. By helping clients manage this new flexibility wisely, we position ourselves as advisors who are both adaptable and future focused. Ultimately, the success of the two-pot system, which I believe is the best regulations over the last 50 years, depends on how well we guide our clients through it. It is about balancing immediate needs with future goals, and that's something we are uniquely positioned to advise on. So let's use the significant shift as a way to deepen relationships, refine our advice, and most importantly, keep our clients on track for the future they deserve while entrenching our role as trusted advisors. Thank you, Francois, and over to you, and enjoy your birthday.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Kobus. Yes, two-pot is finally here, basically. So, yeah, I think there's still lots of questions if I look at some of the things. So, very helpful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Alrighty, so next up, just some quick announcements. And now if I can just find where my mouse needs to go. There we go. Alrighty, so first things first is the hashtag, right? So you're looking for the hashtag. The hashtag is hashtag playbook. So maybe I should put it on screen. There we go. So hashtag playbook. You put that on in the chat and you will automatically be entered into the draw for the books. And there's two books we're going to give away. The first book I want to talk about is the Financial Advisor's Playbook. So this is our new book that is finally now printed. We received all the author books yesterday, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, which I now need to go and pack when I'm done here to send them off. But that's now going out, and very soon, in the next 2 weeks at the very latest, you'll be able to purchase this book on Takealot and have it delivered to you. It has been available on Amazon in a digital form on Kindle for quite a while now, but there's a lot of people that said we want to hold this in our hands. So it's a real book. As you can see, really, really brilliant how it came out. Got 14 people, 14 professionals here from South Africa who contributed to this book. Excuse me. And everything about building a thriving practice. So you want to know what people said and sort of what they've done in practice and the things that are working for them. This is the book to get. And as you can see, it's not a very thick book. So it's going to keep you, it's not going to take you like, getting through Lord of the Rings. This is practical stuff. We cut out all the fluff and just focused on what are the practical things. So the Financial Advisor's Playbook, keep an eye out for that. You can still join the waitlist. The link is down below if you want to, for us to let you know as soon as it's available on Takealot, so you can jump at that opportunity. And everybody on the waitlist is going to get a special launch price. So fantastic. Right. So let me take the playbook off. So that's the first one. The second part that I quickly want to share with you is so we've launched an assessment of sorts that you can use to sort of see where you and your practice score sort of in different areas of what a good business practice, sort of the main elements of that, how you would score in line with that, and just to sort of get a benchmark of where you are. So this is called the Professional Practice 10.0 scorecard, and it looks something like this. And so you can go and do this. The link is also down below. It's completely free. You get a full-on report at the end that's customized based on your answers. So it's not some generic piece of information that we just send you once you've completed it. Depending on how you score, not only overall, but in the 5 different areas that we score, you'll get some customized advice and practical ideas that you can go and implement to up your score. So there's a bunch of value in that. So go and check it out. There's some really fantastic insights that you will get from that. So the link is down below. You'll find that it's the Professional Practice 10.0 scorecard. So do go and check that out. All right. Then what else is next up? Let me just go. There's so many moving parts this morning. Right. So on the 27th of August, which is next week, Tuesday, we have a special masterclass. We'll be sending out another email this morning, but a special masterclass on the future of financial planning. This special masterclass is sponsored by AssetMap, and Benny is going to present. And this is all based on the latest World Economic Forum research report, sort of all the main elements and things are going to impact our world of financial planning. And South Africa was part of that study. So there's information that's very relevant to you and me. So do join us on the 27th. It's going to be 11:30 in the morning. So from 11:30 to 12:30, it's an hour masterclass. And we're looking forward to some great insights and to learn about, where are we headed? What are the things we need to think about? Very relevant, very new research. So come and join us for that. It's completely with our compliments and with the compliments of AssetMap. So come and join us for that. Then the 11th of September is the next day of CPD. Links are down below as well. You can find all the information. You can see the agenda and you can buy your tickets. So please join us for this. Remember, the day of CPD, the whole intent is to help you get your CPD points long before the end. If you attend all our sessions live, by the end of Feb, you're going to be compliant from a regulatory point of view. So that's what we're aiming for. So do come and join us for that. We have some really intriguing topics and things that we discuss in these sessions. So come and join us for the next one. PROpulsion members, they attend at no cost. If you're not a member, there's a ticket price, but there's also a limited time where we've made available a special code that will give you a better price for the next couple of days. So do go and get your tickets if you're not a member. Right, and then lastly, do note the 9th of October is Ascent. So that's our summit that's taking place virtual, live, and again, some fantastic things. We've got a very specific theme this year, which we will announce next week, but we've got a very specific theme that we are tackling, and all the sessions will be based around that specific theme. And that theme is the theme that so many advisors are talking about. So many are struggling with it. So many are asking me about it. So many have said in the feedback that we need more content on this specific topic. So I'm really excited to let you know. So you'll probably see it before next week's show, but we will make that available early next week. Then lastly, the Microsoft Excel program continues. We've got 2 more sessions left. I've learned, and I thought I knew Excel, and I thought I can use Excel like a boss. Apparently, no. Thank you, Liana, for making me humble again, and for teaching me quite a few things around this. So it's been fantastic. It's exclusive to our members. So if you're not a member, you can consider becoming a member. All the information is also down below. But on that note, we are stealing a lot of information, a lot of time from Kirsty. So I'm going to head on straight to Kirsty. Remember, #playbook if you want to get in the draw for the end. We'll draw 2 books. The other one I left downstairs where I was busy reading it. It's actually Kobus's book. So we are giving away that book, but I think you've got a choice of which one of his books you want. So we'll be doing 2 draws after the interview with Kirsty. Right, so ladies and gents, yes, Kirsty du Toit. Good morning, Kirsty. Warm welcome to the show.
Morning, Francois. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited for our discussion because back in 2019, I don't know how many people that's here actually know that where PROpulsion came from was a podcast we started with the name PROpulsion. And the whole brand we have today is as a direct result of that. And you were on that podcast. It was very successful back in 2019 when we started, because there wasn't anything like it. And you were on episode 10 of the show. I mean, I don't even have to go and look. I just remember who was which episode. And you were on as our guest for episode 10. And that's the first time ever I heard about something called advice engagement, or engagement, or more around client engagement, and then also learned about Asset Map. So, I mean, lots have happened, right, in the last 5 years or so, because time have been flying by. We've had all sorts of things that we don't want to talk about. But how have you seen financial planning change in South Africa during this last 5 years?
Yeah, thanks, Francois. I mean, I went back and listened to our podcast from 2019 recently, you know, and thinking about what to talk about today. And I think in the day to day, we don't always realize just how much changes. But when you reflect back and you listen to something from 5 years ago, you can see just how much change there has been. I mean, if I think, you were starting the Propulsion community and podcast, we had literally just launched Asset Map in South Africa at the time of that podcast. So just reflecting on that journey and, starting a business and growing it and launching Asset Map in South Africa, and then reflecting on how the profession has changed in the last 5 years. One of the things we mentioned in that podcast was that planners were starting to explore engaging with clients virtually. And if you think now, just short 5 years later, I think at least it's safe to say that more than 50% of engagements are now done virtually with clients. And how does that change the way in which we do planning and the way in which we engage clients? We also spoke a little bit about, how we want clients to engage more, and how do we take these 30, 40-page financial plan reports and make it really simple and easy for clients to engage. And I think that's probably the two areas where I've seen the biggest change or shift in the last 5 years, is just more engaging virtually and simplifying financial planning and advice and making it really easy for clients to engage with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things, if there's one big lesson that I've learned through my journey and getting to understand Asset Map specifically a little bit better, but then way beyond that, because at the end of the day, technology is only the tool. It's not the thing. It's just simply the thing that we use to get to do something, right? And the whole thing that I learned from this was this thing about engagement and advice engagement, and seeing how you've built a process around the tool to help advisors and planners be better with that. So the big question I've got, I mean, there's obviously been, I mean, as you mentioned now, the sort of the journey that there's been a big shift in focus, from financial planning all the way through to advice engagement. So I want to sort of, maybe if we can clarify a little bit what that actually means. And then, why is it important for planners and advisors to really be aware of this and to also make that shift?
Yeah. And I mean, I think if we think in the profession, we talk a lot about the importance of client experience, the importance of building relationships with clients, the importance of doing financial planning. And advice engagement is maybe a little bit different to that, but those things are still really important, and we focus on that. But advice engagement talks to how do we deliver our advice to clients. When we in that engagement with clients, when we have those moments of opportunity, what are we presenting in those conversations, and are we doing it in a way that makes it really simple for clients, and promotes engagement, so clients are sort of leaning into the conversation, promotes collaboration and co-creation. So advice engagement talks to how are we delivering advice, and this is where we see sort of the rise of visualization and taking the complexities and really making them simple and easy for clients to understand and engage with. And that's the advice engagement, is when we're sitting with the client, whether that's virtual or face to face, what we put in front of them really dictates the level of conversation we're going to have. So how do we make it really simple and easy for them so that clients can make those informed decisions that help them take that step forward?
Yeah, and again, I mean, you say we need to make it simple, but also it's that visual element. Sometimes there's certain things that I get quite easily when I listen to it and I can in my mind form a picture and I've got an idea of what we're talking about and how things fit together. But then there's also other things that I need to see it almost like, if I don't see it, then I can't get it. So I know visualization is also a big thing, and it's also a big part of obviously what technology can help us with and help us, get more out of that conversation. But how has things like that changed the way that advisors now interact with their clients?
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing a lot more visualization and technology to enable that because just like you said, clients relate better to it. If we can take something really complex and make it simple and visual, clients can respond and relate and understand. And we know through that understanding, they feel more empowered to make informed decisions that move them forward. And I think we see that a lot if we look at the complexities that are coming out at the moment in terms of what Cobus took us through now. We're taking that complexity and really making it simple. Examples like the two-part system. I've seen Terence released a video for clients, just taking the concepts of it but making it visual in a short video that clients can see and understand what it is and what it means for them. So I think these visualization tools are really helping us in what we put in front of the client. And often when planners sign up for Asset Map as well, they'll say, Kirsty, I've actually always done this with my clients, either on a whiteboard or I take a piece of paper and I start drawing, what's important to them and who's important to them, and we draw changes that are going to happen. And Asset Map is just making that easier and allowing you to scale that and use that across your practice. But it's really the same concept of clients understand better when it's visual and when it's simple. And if we can understand, we can engage more. And that's what we want in those moments of engaging in a conversation. So we want the clients to lean in, be part of the conversation, want to co-create the plan with them, because that's when they really stick to it. And once they've made those decisions of this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to move forward.
And I mean, you actually mentioned a very important thing there, Kirsty, because I've asked this question on many panels, in many interviews, in many discussions. Like, what is engagement? Like, what does that look like? And I think you sort of have now mentioned the thing that I subscribe to, and that I think that's how you know somebody's engaged. Because that's the question. We might have a definition for what is engagement, but how do I actually know a client is engaged? Because there's two different things about knowing what it looks like and knowing whether somebody's actually being engaging or engaging in the process with us. And that whole thing around like the way that they actually participate in the conversation, right? So do you want to talk to us maybe a little bit about that? I mean, what I've been one of the most, because I remember when some people started using Asset Map, they would come to me and say like, it's the best thing. My clients absolutely love it. But I mean, you must hear millions of stories like this. Well, I say no millions, that's maybe an over exaggeration. But, what are some of the things that you've seen? There's really been a shift where people say, oh, this is what engagement looks like. So can you maybe just, I don't know if you've got maybe a story or something about that or some realizations that you've had in the process around, wow, this is why it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk about, if you're sitting across from a client, you can tell whether they're engaged or not. Are their eyes sort of glossing over? Are they sort of leaning back? Or are they part of the conversation? So I think that tells when the client is leaning forward and they're asking questions. And, if you're looking at an asset map, they're drawing as well and they're, adding things to their map. And you want that engagement and that collaboration. But I think, to answer your question around how visualizations can help that, some examples I've seen, planners are really, really good at empathy, understanding what clients' fears are or, what questions they might have, and taking that and visually representing the information in a way that can talk to that fear or take that fear away or move past that block that the client might have to help them make the decisions that move forward. And to look at some examples, I've seen where a client is perhaps in retirement, they're okay. Let's say, for example, they've got enough funds, they're going to be okay, but there's still a lot of fear around it, around, am I going to run out? I'm scared to spend, but if you can visually show a client, here's, if this is everything you want to achieve, and you're still going to be okay. You're still 100% funded, even if we assume a lower return than what we were expecting. You're still okay. You can provide that comfort to clients, where you can remove that fear and they can feel, okay, I'm comfortable and confident that I'm going to be okay. So I think using visualizations in that way, and even if you have a client who maybe, it hasn't got enough, isn't quite where they want to be, showing the client where they are and what different options they have, it just empowers them and it gives them the confidence to say, okay, well, this is, if I do that, look at the difference it makes. It may not get me all the way there, but I'm in control and I can move forward and progress towards the goals that I want to achieve. I think by taking the detail and representing it visually and simply, we give clients that ability to view, what that looks like for them and what the different outcomes are and how they can make the decisions that move them forward. So I think that's the examples that I see. And just in terms of planners using asset map with clients, I've just seen maps where clients and planners have drawn all over the map. Then it's been a great conversation. Or when planners tell us, it's the one thing the client wanted to leave the meeting with. It's the one thing they want to show their family and show the people that are important to them, because they can just see it all on one page and they feel in control, they feel organized, and that they can really take those steps that move them forward.
Yeah, it's not always about these elaborate 40, 50, 60, 80-page reports, right? I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned personally was that, because it happened often when I sat with clients and I gave advice to clients and so forth. Then you get to the end and you really, like, in your heart, you feel like you did such a great job of explaining this and all of it. And then you ask the client, right, so we've obviously got to make a decision. So, are we going to move forward? Like, what do you want to do? What don't you want to do? Whatever. And then they would respond with, I'm not sure, but I mean, you're the professional. We trust you. We will do what you tell us to do. And in that moment, it's such a great feeling of like, wow, I'm really not bad at this. I'm sticking the landing, if you will. And then you sort of, over time, I came to realize, like, but that's a very clear indication that they're definitely not engaged, because they were sitting there and they might have been nodding and like, they're with me and yeah, no, we have no questions and everything. It's like, just how good can one person explain something? And then I realized, like, that is a massive red flag, because people will do it, but when there's other things happening in life and they need to do things, they will very easily go back on their decision because it wasn't really their decision, right? And I think that was a big moment for me to realize, like, the things that really made me feel good about what I did was actually a much bigger red flag than it was a medal I could stick on my chest, if you will. So that's an important one as well. But you're obviously very passionate about this, Kirsty, and you really love this whole thing around client engagement. I can hear the way that you talk. You really get excited about stuff. With everything that we've said so far, is there any particular tip, maybe just one simple tip that you can give, advisors to maybe improve their client relationships, and I guess then through incorporating a bit more engagement? Like, what would be one simple tip or one simple step they can take in that direction?
Yeah, thanks, Grant. And I love that insight that you said, when clients say, I trust you, just tell me what to do, they're really saying, I don't understand, help me understand. And we want them to take ownership of their plan and of those decisions. So we want them to understand. I think that the one tip I'll share, and it's from planners in the community, planners are really great at empathy. And if we can just lean into that, and ask ourselves, what is the question that this client would have right now? What is the fear that they're probably feeling, or what is the opportunity? What is the question that they're probably wrestling with? And how do I deliver the advice in a way that answers that for them? So just always bringing it back to the client. How does this client take a step forward? It reminds me a little bit about, they say, what's the perfect exercise? The perfect exercise is the one that you do every day. I think the perfect plan or the perfect engagement is the one where the client feels empowered to take the steps that move them forward. My tip would be lean into that, always come back to, if I was this client, what is the step forward, and how do I reflect and represent the advice in a way that is going to help this client take that step, and progress according to their plan. Yeah, that would be the one tip. And I think maybe, thinking about, if you think of that entire client experience journey, we have these moments of opportunity, these moments of engagement where we're sitting in front of the client, or we're engaging with them virtually. And it's in those moments where we create sort of, that personalized experience for the client, where they feel the value of financial planning in those moments. So the other tip I would say is just be intentional about what you present in those engagements. If it's a 30, 40 page plan, we know that the level of engagement is not going to be great. But if we can simplify it, summarize it, visualize it for the client, we can really co-create and collaborate with them, and they can take those steps to move them forward. So I'd lean into empathy and be intentional about what we put in front of the clients in those engagements.
Yeah, it's powerful, powerful. I love it. Thanks, Kirsty. Then also, you're also an integral coach. Now, one of the big questions that some people might have, that I definitely have, is that how important is it or is it important? Let me not say how important. Let me rather ask, is it even important that, to go down this road of client engagement and have much more of a collaborative effort in that sense? Is it necessary to become a coach, or is, having like a coaching sort of some training in that area, will that be helpful? Does that have to be part of the toolkit to really get the most out of this? Maybe just some thoughts from your end, being a coach, how much of that do you think is really helping in this space versus, there's certain elements that I can maybe learn in order to up my game quite considerably, or then must I also then embark on this whole coaching journey?
I mean, I think any additional learning we can do is always helpful. But for me personally, coaching is simply about asking more than telling. And it helped me in that I think I was the type of person that felt every question you get, you have to know the answer. You have to be ready with the answer and be able to respond. And coaching sort of relieves you from that pressure of saying, you don't have to have the answer to every question. The answer actually lies in the conversation. So, approaching that client engagement by asking questions, and the client, responds to those questions, and then you build on that, and then the client builds on that. You're really unlocking the answer through the engagement, and that's the right answer for the client. And I think if Benny talked us through the FPA research in your PROpulsion CPD day, and one of the things that came out of that research, which was conducted across top advisors with top clients, and they said 60% of those clients said the goals in their plan didn't actually reflect their actual goals. And I think that's where we can use techniques like coaching or asking open-ended questions to really uncover in that engagement, what is it that this client wants to achieve? Are we reflecting that? And how do we empower them to do that? But the true power for me of coaching is just that idea of, I don't have to have the answer. I can ask the right questions, and together we can come up with a better answer than I would have had if I just walked into the meeting with an answer prepared. So I think that's what coaching can help with, in just asking the right questions and asking open-ended questions.
Now, just let me add that sounds a lot easier than it actually is. I also have this thing around when somebody asks me a question, instead of delving deeper into why they might be asking, or what they're really asking, or what sits behind that question, I launch into like all my things that I would like, because you just want to help, right? I mean, that's the whole intention. And then you maybe lose that opportunity to understand just a little bit better. And it's really, it's an intriguing sort of skill, I think, to have, to really be able to ask more. And I think you summarized it so eloquently for me to say, well, it's just about asking more than telling. So that's very, very powerful. So thank you very much for that, Kirsty. Then also, if you think about everything that's going on at the moment, you also mentioned about, you believe obviously in continuous learning, and you want to learn more, and obviously any skills you can get is really helpful. But in your view, maybe if you should just quickly think about where we are as a profession, or whether you call it an industry, whatever we call it, if you just think where most people are, because obviously you'll have people on the one extreme, people on the other extreme, but where most people might find themselves, what do you think might be some things that people should really spend time on learning and upskilling and even reskilling themselves on?
I mean, I think maybe touching on asking open-ended questions is a great way or skill to learn. And I think in this continuous development, and if we think of the work you're doing at PROpulsion, if we think of the great work that FBI and other bodies like that are doing, I think that gives us, these platforms give us this unique opportunity to engage with each other. And I think Laura mentioned that on your show recently as well, that, going to these events, you start connecting with, other planners and like-minded individuals and your peers. And just like we want to engage more with clients, we can learn so much by engaging with each other, making use of these opportunities to engage and share and learn from each other. So I think get involved in attend these events and connect with the other people that are attending as well. It's in that engagement where we can grow. And then a good skill, I think, is just thinking about what we put in front of the client and how you would ask questions around that. A nice technique for that is something we call the 3 E's, which is just about exploring, educating, and elevating. And just by exploring where a client is today, tell me about the people in your life. I see you've got this investment. Tell me more about what made you take that out and what that means for you. And just by asking these questions, just around the picture of where the client is today, we get great insights into how their journey to now, how they make decisions, what's important to them. So that's a one skill we can learn is just using that 3 E's, which is starting by exploring, educating, and then elevating. What are the steps that we can do differently? What are the gaps that we can fill? So that's one I would say, and lean into that empathy. I think the rest will flow.
Fantastic. Then, Kirsty, I mean, we are basically at the end, but is there any one piece of advice or one piece of just maybe a thought or an idea or something that you want to leave everybody with today, that if they go away from today and they heard nothing that you and I spoke about, but they hear this, like, what would that be?
I think really asking yourself from an advice engagement point of view, what technology can I use to take the complexity of financial planning and make it simple, and be intentional about what we put in front of clients that will create a space to have, great engagements, great advice engagements. I think the one thing I would leave with is just look at that experience that you're taking clients to and think about, is there technology that I could explore that can help me, really deliver advice in a different, more engaging way?
Brilliant stuff. Righty, so ladies and gents, if you want to connect with Kirsty, her details is down below, or her LinkedIn, link to her LinkedIn profile is there. So go and check it out and do follow and link with Kirsty on there, as well as the Asset Map page. And that's if you want to learn more about client engagement and see how you can do things differently. Kirsty, from my side, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Really value the work that you do, and the team, Benny and Gary and everybody. So thank you very, very much. And thank you for being a fantastic guest on the show. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Francois, and enjoy the birthday celebrations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Brilliant stuff. Really love it. I've got a bit of goosebumps, and it's not cold. It's just, yeah, I really love these conversations. So thank you very much, Kirsty. It's something that I would really like over time to do a bit more of a deep dive in. I think there's so much value there. So that's important. Right. Anyway, so then next up, we're going to do the draw for the books. So there's 2 draws that we're going to do. So we're going to draw twice. If you're not in yet, you can still get in. So if you put #playbook, you will be able to still enter. I think we've got 15 people or so that has entered, and there are 33 people live online right now. So hashtag playbook. Just put that in the chat, and we will then you will automatically be entered into the draw. Righty, so let me bring up the infamous tool. Let me just do that, and then we'll do this. Alrighty, and then I've got to make sure that we put it on screen. Ladies and gents, there are so many moving parts. Right, there you go. Right, so playbook, how many people have we got? 16, 17. There you see, like you can still get in. So if you want to, I'll give you one more second. And obviously, I've got to get my fantastic sound bites ready. Right, are you ready? Here we go. So we're going to do the first draw. This book, this is for the Financial Advisor Playbook, by the way. So the very first one, who's going to get their copy? And we have Terence Tobin, as if Terence needs my book. Well, not my book, our book. Fantastic. Well done, Terence. So very shortly for you to obviously then send me your details where I can have the book delivered. Righty, so thank you very much, Terence. So we're going to draw again. Terence will be removed, but who's going to win a book from Quibus? Who's going to be, and you're going to have a choice. I will send you a form and all of that you can complete. But we have Nico van Wyk. Nico, well done. Congratulations. So you win the book from Quibus, and you can choose one of his 4 books. Righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. I'm really excited for our next guest next week. We've got loads of guests lined up, fantastic guests from all over, as you've just heard, Kirsty, fantastic. And our guest next week is Kim Potgieter. So we're going to do a deep dive into this whole midlife journey and all sorts of other interesting things. And she's just recently did a series, a masterclass series on client connection in PROpulsion as well. Trust me, your mind is going to be blown. The way that she explains and the story she shares and all of that is absolutely incredible. So, yeah, really looking forward to that, to chat to her as well. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Until then, stay safe, be blessed and prosper, and continue to raise the bar. And remember to look out for our communications about everything that's going on. Love you lots. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.